calls, bro. I had been putting in some things behind date back. So Sergeant A called me early in the morning.
You talking about the Hawaiian dude?
Yeah, the
Big
Hawaiian dude,
Hawaiian dude.
the one that didn't that was always giving Shireen problems. So he was
Yeah,
trying to be all
yeah.
shady with this shit. So he called me. I get there. He first thing I do, Michael Austin pulled me into the office. He like, you know why you here, right? I was like, nah. He's like, we about to really go ahead and reach your rights. See y'all. I say, for fucking what? He's like, disrespect to Stell Sergeant Floyd. I said, oh hell no. We finna fix that right now. So after I laid down everything, all the other things that I had been doing behind day back, that stopped. He made his call, got the verification that I did. He's like, oh, okay. So they cut me that same day they cut me orders to ID card. Now they were sending me right down to the hall to the
Hmm.
dude that the big tall dude, right? The one that
Yeah,
she always the other dude she used to flirt with. I said, man, that's just like sending me straight back to her. I said, all she gonna do is fucking go tell him what to do, and he gonna do it. So
yeah.
like, no. And that's when that exactly when they cut you orders to Charlie detachment, they cut me orders to Delta detachment.
Delta. Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember.
and because the same thing was like, cause I was over there being blackballed, the same thing being old knucklehead, but the first at the time I couldn't see half of this stuff, but some of this stuff, like everybody make mistakes. But just like you said, I remember fucking Sergeant Major Daniels, man, that was me up when that joker told him like, hey, look, when I got kicked off the PLDC that time, he's like, hey, look, as long as I'm here, he's never going back to the board again. Now that happened in what,
Oh yeah.
2000? Yeah. Now mind you, I didn't go over to the PSB until what, 2004 down there to Delta
Yeah.
detachment. So 4 years, bro, I was hell because when nobody gonna send it because they was scared of what
This was
the hell.
Daniel. Yeah.
Yeah, scared of what he gonna do. And I remember the same exact thing. There was this other one. You I don't want to mention her name, but even when I went down there to B knock, you know, this joker told me, "Hey, just because just because we know each other, Walton, I
Yeah.
don't
Don't
want you to
think.
think
Yep.
that that's gonna be the reason why you stay in school." Motherfucker kicked me out. But what was so fucked up about it is when Kellum found out about it, he got into SA, man. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you don't do shit like that. And I
Hmm.
remember, bro, it was so funny that that same person who said that. Now, when I went to Guantanamo Bay, my NCO, that was Barksdale, right?
Yeah.
When Barksdale left, he ended up going to Alabama working for that same person. They mentioned my name. He called and told me the first thing she said was, Barksdale, you should have got rid of him over there in Guantanamo Bay. He ain't no good. I'm like, bruh, why? Like, certain people just get so much pleasure of watching people just destroying other fucking people.
Yeah,
And to
man.
this
It's
day, I don't understand it. Like, what good could possibly come out of you saying, "Hey, I did that to him. I was the one that destroyed him." It's so crazy, man. It's literally so crazy. Now, getting back off, jumping back to the topic of you and your pops. You told me once, man, like while you was deployed, you actually got a chance to spend time like with your pops
oh
over
yeah,
there.
man. Look. So boom, ch- got the Charlie detachment.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? And then we get overseas. We in Kuwait the whole time. I know
right.
the rest of y'all done went to Iraq. You know what I'm saying? Y'all
Yeah,
up north
yeah,
everything.
we a Ballard up there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
So
because yeah, everybody got separated. Because what was it for? Like everybody, because what the manifestos were like, we had Ballard, y'all went down to what Kuwait,
yeah, we was in Arab John.
yeah, Arizona, then something. What was the other spot? Some because I
Man,
know Hunt, yeah,
look, man, we was between the whole 18th SSG, everybody. I think we was the only ones in Kuwait. Everybody else was in Iraq.
yeah.
Everybody else, like I couldn't even remember them places until what? Until y'all was coming back on R&R. That's like when I started seeing y'all again.
what was that place, man? What was that place that everybody went like while they was over there in Qatar?
Yeah, but it wasn't even that. That was Qatar was like the I guess you could take like a little
Yeah, I ain't go to that.
yeah, take a
The 4 day pass,
yeah,
like or
like a
whatever.
pass or something if everything was getting to you over there. But
Mm.
like I said, we was in Kuwait. So we was already we had the hip hop night, the salsa nights, the this, the that. We, look here, man. I know they done changed it now.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? But in 2000, when did we go? 2004? 2000? No, 2005.
mhm.
But in 2005, Kuwait, Arab John was the lick, bro. You get the same pay, everything.
Oh,
But
I
yeah, you ain't have to endure none of the stuff that y'all was going through in Iraq. We ain't get
hey,
no IEDs. We ain't get no nothing. You know
man,
what I'm
we
saying?
came.
No
You know, we
water
came
rounds, no
down.
nothing. Yeah,
We came. Me and Strawley came down there a few times. You know, like
yeah,
for
bro.
whatever.
When
Hey,
I
you
tell
know,
you,
Strawley, for whatever reason, like something going on. His brother with him, like bro, like I don't
look,
know how we stayed out there for what.
when I tell you Kuwait was like, I'm talking about, but them boys was they was buying they were buying clothes offline to get shipped to Kuwait for all for basically like to go to the club or whatever on a Friday night. We
Yeah,
was out there in Air Force Ones, the whole 9 yards. But anyway, we was chilling in Kuwait, man. So we did the all 12 months in Kuwait. But I knew I had been emailing my pops because I knew he had told me he's like, hey, I'm finna come over there because he was
right.
coming on the second deployment. And I said, all right, yeah, I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna be here. You know what I'm saying? Just and I was telling him, I basically gave him my schedule and kind of where how to find the motor pool if he was there. You know what I'm saying? But what honestly and what happened was um, Kuwait was so big from where we lived at to where we worked at in the motor pool. So they had these buses, and it take you from you get picked. I think we stayed in zone 1 at that
Hmm.
time, or I can't remember, man. We initially stayed in zone 1, then we moved to zone 6 or something, but whatever. But me and Big Smitty and Big Slur and Goble, you know what I'm saying? We hopped on the bus because we getting ready to go to work. Um, and I remember sitting on the bus, and I probably had got an email from my dad like 2 or 3 days prior to that, like, "Hey, we finna arrive. We're gonna be in John for a couple of days to do that training or whatever they do before you go to Iraq."
Right.
And I'm like, "All right, cool. I'm here." You know what I'm saying? So we hopped on the bus that day, and there was a crack in the curtain. I just happened to be looking out the window, and I barely caught his name tape. And I'm like, "Was that him?" So the bus getting ready to the bus done took off already. So I'm like, "Stop, stop, 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 stop." So dude, he think it's an emergency. He stopped the bus. He opened up. I just yell out, "Hey, first on!" And he was like, he was already past the bus, so he come back around the bus, and that it was him, man. So I come up, I'm like, "Oh snap! Oh, what's up, man?"
Man,
He like, "Oh man, what's up, son?" You know what I'm saying?
man, that's
So
got to be
and Big Smitty hopped off the bus with me.
right.
So boom. Now it's me, Smitty, and my pops. And we just stopped now at the bus stop or whatever. The bus done went on to drop them people off. And we stopped. I'm like, "Oh, when you get here?" He like, "Oh, I done been here. We arrived last night. I'm looking for you. I'm asking people, hey, where Charlie Detachment PSB at? And nobody seems to know. So I was just gonna go what they call a mayor cell.
Right.
And he said he was just gonna go to the mayor cell and ask where we was at. I was like, "Oh snap!" So we get to walking. I walk him back to where we was at, the barracks and everything. Now, mind you, at this time I'm promoted. I'm an E5.
Right.
My dad is a first sergeant, like diamond, whole 9 yards. Um, so we walk back to the barracks, and I'm just talking. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, "Yeah, pops," and pops that and dad this and this that, you know. And then when we get in the barracks, everybody like I'm introducing them. I'm like, hey, yeah, this is my dad. Dad, this is Crockett or Rob or whoever. Um, and they lock up. You know what I'm saying? They go in a
Yeah.
parade dress and everything. They like, oh, how you doing, first? I'm like, which
Yeah.
I'm really tripping out, like, because I'm just
My
like, yeah, man,
daddy.
this is my pops.
My
Y'all
dad.
chill. He cool. And
Yeah.
then I don't think McGlone was in there. But I think Cattle or somebody. And then I had him meet the first song. I can't remember his name. E7 though. Um, but I'm like, hey, first song. This is my dad. He's about to go up to Iraq, and for sure, he was an ex infantry dude, the detachment sergeant. I'm
Mm.
talking about he locked up so quick. I'm talking, hey, first sergeant, how you doing? I'm like, bro, what? And my pops,
Yeah,
like,
he laughed.
yeah,
He
hey,
eating it
hey,
up.
what's
Yeah.
going on, son? Da 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 this and this. And of course they're gonna talk highly of it, even though no, at that time
Mhm.
I was already trending up.
Oh yeah.
Um, but he was like, yeah, we're glad your son is here. He does great things for us down in the motor pool. He fixes the vehicles, this and that. And so after we do that, then we shoot to the motor pool, and that's where I think Goebel and Bixler is still there, is at the motor pool, and they just they working, even though at that time we was probably just doing minor fixes on trucks because we had brought all the trucks back to get ready to go back home.
Hmm.
So we chilled in there, then we did lunch, and then after lunch, you know what I'm saying? He's like, all right, man, I gotta go get back with my company or whatever. And I'm like, all right, Pop, you know what I'm saying? It was good to see you and all, but yeah, man, I got the picture. I gotta look for it, but I got the picture and everything, man, back in them DCU days. Me
Yeah.
and him took a picture in the barracks and everything, bro.
Man, I never really, because when you told me, they were like, yeah, I know, I never really got a chance to meet him, but because even when you told me, then when I heard the story, they like, Big Fullet down there with his dad. I was like, what you mean he's down there with his dad? I
Yeah,
was
man.
like, yeah, I was like, oh no, man, but yeah,
He was
them,
able. I mean, it was just a coincidence, bro, that I was sitting on that bus looking out the window and happened to see him. I mean, I stopped that bus so quick. First on, he came back, Daddy. Oh, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it was wild, bro. But I definitely appreciate it because that was like one of the things I wanted to do while I
because
was
he
in the
pinned,
military.
did he pin you over there too, right? When you
Nah,
got promoted,
I
he
got
was,
promoted. I got promoted in November, and he probably came over like December 5th or something like that.
Mhm.
But
It was about,
it
yeah,
was there
December.
was like a couple things I wanted to do while I was in the military. One was obviously to see him.
Right.
Um, Two was to meet somebody that knew him in the military, and I did that. I actually did that twice. Um, and this is ironic that both times I did that, the first time I met somebody who knew him was when I went to JRTC, and then the second time I met somebody that knew him was when I was in NTC.
And remember not too long ago, what was that? I think I told you I met somebody's in the airport that I was doing something. Or I was getting a tattoo or whatever, and I called and told you, say, hey man, I just met this dude last name Fuller. I say, but bro, he looked just like. Oh no, I remember what it was. It was back in El Paso. The dude last name, he worked at the motor pool. Last name was Fuller. It had the same exact face structure as you. I was like, hey man, like
Hmm.
you know anybody? You know any fools from Georgia? He's like, oh no. I was like, man, I say you look so familiar. He's like, what you talking about, Big? So I said, bro, I got a friend. I said, who last name Fuller, who from Georgia. I said, y'all got that exact same facial structure. But
Yeah,
yeah, but it turned out, man, like what is other than you know sharing that experience like with your pop, like you got any funny, like any? Um, what are your favorite duty stations? Like for me, like I I had Fort Riley. Well, I joined with Fort Riley, Germany, Heidelberg, Germany. Oh, I had a ball in Germany. It's you know
Hmm.
another time. So I would say like Germany was cool because now I get a chance to like really meet people. You know, like I told you before, man. You know, like one of my like two girlfriends was like a Croatian and Croatian and a
Yeah.
Bulgarian. Yeah, I'm like, hey, this guy from Mississippi over in Heidelberg, a black guy from Yazoo City,
Yeah.
Mississippi. Yeah, I'm walking down the streets of Heidelberg, Germany, with a Croatian and somebody from Bulgaria. So right then and there, I said to myself, I was like, I'm kind of liking this this military thing, you know. Like then when I get
Hmm.
to Bragg, I think Bragg was my turning. Like that's when I would say like met everybody, like
Yeah.
everybody,
Yeah. Yeah.
like where my family was created. Um, you know, and the thing about that, man, like you really do meet some like interesting people. You know, like I said, we've known each other for what over 20 some years. What
Yeah.
about 21?
20. Yeah. 20. No, 20. Going on 21. Going on 21. Next year be
Yeah,
21.
yeah, and like you know, during those times, we done seen some things, man.